What if knowledge alone is the slowest path to power? We worship degrees, we collect facts, we chase titles, but somehow the most educated among us still feel stuck. Why? Because knowledge is not power, directed mind is. A man can memorize the universe and still remain a slave to his own limitations. But the man who learns how to use his mind to bend it, stretch it, forge it like steel, that man can have anything he wants. Not by force, not by tricks, but by law. Because a truly educated man is not defined by what he knows, but by how well he commands his mind to act. Education is worshipped in our society, but not all education is equal, and not all of it leads to power. I've met men with degrees from prestigious universities, men who could recite formulas, quote philosophers, and explain economic theories with precision. And yet, those same men were mentally paralyzed in the face of adversity. They knew much, but they did nothing. Why? Because knowledge alone is static. It sits on the shelf, it rusts in the brain. It creates pride, but not progress. Real education is not accumulation, it is activation. The truly educated man is not the one who collects information. It is the one who develops his faculties of thought, focus, imagination, discipline, and will. Because with those 5 tools he can build wealth, win loyalty, solve problems, influence men, and shape reality itself, even if he starts with nothing. Schools teach us what to think, but rarely how to think. They give us prepackaged answers, but not the tools to generate our own. They train for memorization, not mastery. Obedience, not originality. You are handed a diploma, told you are educated, and then released into a world that demands not your GPA but your capacity. Can you lead under pressure? Can you solve problems when no textbook applies? Can you persuade others ethically? Can you direct your mind through confusion, failure, and fear? These are the questions real life asks, and only the truly educated can answer them. In my years of study and interviews with the world's greatest achievers, I identified 6 faculties that every powerful man develops. 1. Definiteness of purpose. The ability to choose a clear target and organize his life around it. 2. Imagination. Not fantasy. Controlled, disciplined imagination. The capacity to see what does not yet exist. 3. Willpower. The ability to hold an idea, decision, or standard without surrendering to fatigue or fear. 4. Initiative. Acting before being told. Moving without external push. 5. Self-discipline. Resisting lower urges to serve higher intentions. 6. Accuracy of thought. Seeing reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. When these faculties are developed, a man becomes dangerous not to others, but to his own limitations. He becomes a force of nature, because now he can learn anything, acquire anything, build anything, without violating the rights of others. That is true power. Let me be blunt. You can know everything and still achieve nothing. You can have a PhD and still be ruled by fear. You can memorize entire libraries and still crumble when life demands clarity. The world will never reward what you know. It only rewards what you can do with what you know. And to do something powerful, meaningful, lasting, you need more than intellect. You need inner control. You need mastery of focus, emotion, and belief. The average man waits to feel ready. The educated man creates readiness from within. Mental faculties are not inherited. They are forged through deliberate effort over time. Just like a bodybuilder sculpts muscle, the educated man sculpts focus. He lifts mental weights, delaying gratification, facing discomfort, confronting self-deception, saying no when it hurts, holding to a standard even in private. Each time he wins that battle, he becomes stronger. Each repetition builds something invisible but unshakable, and soon that man cannot be ignored, because when chaos hits, he remains composed. When others fold, he calculates. Where most guess, he sees. That is the fruit of true education. Hill's definition is precise. An educated man is one who may acquire anything he wants, or its equivalent, without violating the rights of others. This is the final test of mastery. Can you get what you want and still leave others empowered? Many take shortcuts. They deceive, manipulate, or overpower. But this is weakness in disguise. Real strength is quiet. It does not need to steal, it creates, and it teaches. Because the truly educated man does not hoard power, he multiplies it in himself, in others, in systems. And when he acquires, he leaves a wake of elevation, not destruction. That is the kind of man history remembers. You may not have finished school, you may not have a title, a trophy, or a degree. But if you train your mind, truly train it, you can. Learn any skill, build any life, earn any prize, command any room, not by chance, but by law. Because an educated man is not the one who knows the most. He is the one who can become anything without betraying who he is. And when you reach that level of self-control, my friend, the world opens its vaults, not because you forced it, but because you earned it. Let me now reveal the missing link in the chain of achievement. Power does not reside in information. It resides in the organized use of information by a well-conditioned mind. You may ask, how do I become one of these men? How do I activate these dormant faculties within myself? How do I become the kind of man who can learn, build, and dominate without corruption? I will tell you, but understand this first. You must stop worshiping knowledge and start commanding it. Without this, nothing else matters. A man without a purpose is a loaded gun with no target. He fires in all directions and hits nothing. A truly educated man chooses his aim. He does not flinch. He does not pivot every week. He decides, then aligns his life accordingly. This requires courage, because purpose demands sacrifice. It means saying no to lesser things. It means choosing mastery over comfort. Most men drift not because they lack options, but because they lack the clarity to burn the bridge behind them. If you want to build power, start with a decision so clear, the world cannot help but respond. Now we speak of vision, but not fantasy, not escapism. True imagination is controlled mental construction. It is the ability to see what is not yet real and begin organizing resources, conversations, and energy toward it. Everything man has ever created was first imagined. The car, the plane, the phone in your hand. Your future must also be imagined and then engineered. The educated man sees things before others do. He visualizes his goals not once but daily. He feels them, rehearses them, lives them inside first. And because of this, the world begins to mirror his vision. Now comes the muscle. Willpower is the internal force that allows a man to hold an intention, even when circumstances argue against it. Weak men need external validation. Strong men create momentum from within. You must learn to tell yourself, I will stay the course until it yields fruit. This means persisting when tired, continuing when uncelebrated, believing when there is no visible proof. The truly educated man trains this force like a soldier. And when others collapse from fatigue, he remains standing. Initiative is action without permission. It is the habit of movement. The educated man does not wait to be told. He does not hesitate in the face of responsibility. He sees what needs doing and moves first. This trait, more than intelligence or talent, determines leadership, because in every group, someone must act first, and those who act first tend to lead the rest. To train initiative, do the hard thing before you're asked. Ask the uncomfortable question first. Speak the truth when others wait. Each time you act on your inner signal before the world gives you a sign, you strengthen the muscle of self-authority. No man will rule others until he first rules himself. Self-discipline is the keystone of mental power, because it allows all other faculties to function reliably. Without discipline, purpose becomes whim, imagination becomes escapism, willpower burns out, initiative is inconsistent. But with discipline, everything sharpens, everything aligns, everything accelerates. The educated man disciplines his mind, his speech, his habits, and his energy. He tracks himself. He corrects himself. He honors the long term above the impulse. And because of this, his trajectory is unstoppable. This is the scalpel. This is the difference between progress and delusion. Accuracy of thought is the ability to cut through bias, see truth even when it's uncomfortable, distinguish fact from feeling, think strategically, not sentimentally. A man who thinks accurately is never truly lost, because he sees what is real. He adjusts, adapts, advances. This is why emotional mastery matters, because emotion clouds thought, but accuracy clears the fog. The educated man develops this by questioning himself ruthlessly. Is this true? What am I missing? Am I seeing the whole picture or just the part I like? This habit makes him dangerous, because he cannot be lied to know even by himself. Now we unite the six faculties. Imagine this. A man with clear purpose, daily visualization, ruthless persistence, immediate initiative, daily discipline, razor-sharp thinking. Is that man not a king? Is that man not a force? He may have less money, he may have fewer credentials, but soon he will own the room. Because the world is built for mental leaders, not intellectual hoarders. The man who develops his mind not just fills itis, the one who bends history, and now you know how. There is a moment in every man's journey when he looks around and wonders, why do others seem to advance so effortlessly while I remain stuck in motion but not in progress? It is not because of lack of intelligence. It is not due to a conspiracy. It is not bad luck. It is because of a divide. A silent divide that exists not in the world but in the mind, between those who learn to use their mind as a tool and those who remain trapped inside it. Let us examine this divide. Many men mistake movement for growth. They stay busy, they read, they hustle. But without a central purpose, without activated faculties, they orbit the same problems. They remain in cycles of distraction and self-sabotage. They are active but misdirected. They are exposed to ideas but never transformed by them. They live as students of life but never graduates. This is the man who learns everything except how to change. You can spot the difference instantly. The trapped mind reacts emotionally, avoids responsibility, requires constant external motivation, doubts its own decisions, lives by default, not design. The trained mind sees patterns, maintains clarity under stress, creates momentum from within, commits to decisions and adapts, shapes circumstances by force of focus. This is not about IQ. This is not about where you were born. This is about who has chosen to own their mind and who has not. There are three main reasons why men fail to cross the divide. 1. They fear letting go of mental comfort. Growth requires destroying old ways of thinking. Most men protect their identity instead of upgrading it. 2. They confuse knowledge with readiness. They believe once they know enough, they will act. But action creates confidence, not the other way around. 3. They wait for validation. They want someone to say, "You're ready." But the trained mind validates itself. Until these patterns are broken, no amount of reading will produce results. The man who trains his mind sees opportunity where others see fear. He sees patterns in chaos. He sees openings in failure. He sees systems where others see luck. He does not wait for life to become easier. He becomes stronger. He knows, the only thing I can truly control is the quality of my inner world. And that is enough to control my outcomes, because every battle is won first in the mind. This divide is not theoretical. It plays out every day in your choices. Wake up early or sleep in. Act now or delay again. Speak truth or stay silent. Focus deeply or scroll endlessly. Practice discipline or indulge distraction. Each choice either trains your mind or traps it further. There is no neutral ground. You are either sharpening your edge or dulling it. And the man who sharpens daily eventually cuts through everything that once confused him. Let us speak plainly. Greatness is boring. It is the result of small, high-quality actions repeated with obsession. Not for days, but for years. The trained mind understands this, and so he creates rituals. Morning clarity rituals, deep focus periods, recovery without guilt, daily visualization, nightly audits. These rituals train the mind to operate under command, not chaos. They create a container in which power compounds, and through this the divide begins to shrink. Until one day the man looks around and realizes, I am no longer like the many. I have become the few. Do not think of this transformation as a destination. Think of it as an identity shift, a decision to no longer let your mind drift, a choice to forge mental strength until it becomes who you are. This is not a temporary motivation. It is a permanent mentality. The man who crosses the divide never goes back because he has tasted the power of inner alignment. He knows, if I can hold a vision, discipline my thoughts, and act from purpose, there is no circumstance that can imprison me. So the next time you feel stuck, ask not, what am I missing out there? Ask, what am I refusing to master in here? Because the battle is not against life, it is against misused potential. And the moment you decide to train, not just read, not just plane you, begin to walk a path that few ever discover, the path of the inner elite, the path of the quietly unstoppable, the path where the mind no longer rules you, because you rule it. There is a power that few ever speak of, a power that cannot be bought, borrowed, or inherited. It is not loud, it is not advertised, it does not glow on a resume. And yet, when a man walks into a room with it, the entire atmosphere bends. That power is a trained mind, not merely educated by books, but disciplined through experience. The man who possesses it does not need to announce it. His actions whisper it. His tone confirms it. His focus radiates it. He has become the rarest of all things, a man who governs himself. Most men chase attention. The educated man commands it without trying. Why? Because in a world ruled by noise, stillness is magnetic. When he speaks, he has thought. When he acts, he has calculated. When he moves, he has already seen the next 5 moves ahead. He is not a gambler, he is a strategist. This makes him valuable, it makes him trusted. And it makes him dangerous to anyone who lives by reaction. Everything in life flows from your internal state. Your tone in negotiations, your energy in relationships, your decisions in chaos. The trained mind has practiced entering the correct state on command. Calm under fire, bold in doubt, focused in complexity. This makes him faster, clearer, and harder to shake. When others panic, he pauses. When others hesitate, he executes. When others seek answers, he creates them. That is leverage, and it is invisible to those who don't have it. There is another advantage. A trained mind does not only elevate the self, it upgrades the environment. When you control your state, people defer to your clarity. Chaos organizes around your certainty. Weak minds borrow your strength. You become a mirror that reflects what others could be if they too chose to train. And sometimes that is all leadership really is, a quiet, present mind refusing to lower its standard. This mastery does not make headlines, but it builds empires. Because the trained mind can learn faster, build deeper, communicate clearer, pivot smarter, recover quicker. And these gains compound, month after month, year after year. While others are still Googling how to start, you have already built it. While others seek the perfect mindset course, you have become the course. While others fear what is coming next, you are preparing for what comes after. Ultimately, this is the highest advantage. You are no longer reacting to life. You are designing it. You are no longer a character in someone else's script. You are the author. And when difficulty arises, as it always does, you do not fold. You reframe, you recalibrate, you rise. This is not motivation, it is engineering. You have built the mind that builds the outcome. In the end, all men must choose. To be moved by the world or to move the world. To be shaped by pressure or to shape it. To be ruled by the mind or to rule it. The trained man does not wait. He builds himself until he is undeniable. And when he arrives, the world, as if it knew all along, makes room. Because the mind he governs was always the gatekeeper to the life he was meant to lead. If you have listened this far, you are not ordinary. You are someone who is ready, ready to stop consuming, ready to start commanding, ready to stop wandering, ready to start walking with purpose. But remember this, insight without action is just entertainment. Now is the time to train, to build the mental architecture that holds up under pressure, to sharpen your faculties like a blade, to become the kind of man who leads not later, but now. So take the next step. Subscribe to the channel not for me, but for you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of your mental training. Drop a comment below. Share your vision, your challenge, your fire. The world needs trained minds, not just dreamers, not just thinkers, but builders. Let this be the start of your new life, because as you now know, the world does not move for the informed. It moves for the mentally forged.